Okay, we're back with another video. This is going to be on my Bushmaster ACR, previously known as the Magpul Masada or Magpul ACR. Super famous gun from Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, a bunch of other video games. I had this rifle for maybe 9, 10, 8, 9, something like that years. Cool rifle. I've only ever shot this gun maybe 3 times. It doesn't really do anything better than an AR-15 in my opinion, but it is cool and just something to have in my collection. This is there's like two models that they released. There's one with that came with the non-Picatinny handguard. It was like a Mo handguard and a fixed rear stock. This one has the ACR folding and adjustable rear stock. Super attractive looking stock. I would like to find a non-railed one. Just I think that it looks cooler and it's a little bit longer, and it also might lighten the gun up a little bit. This is a heavy gun, maybe a little bit lighter than like my HK 46 MR556. It's definitely not light. We'll do from the tip to the butt again. On the front, I have. Ooh, I haven't used this gun in years. How does this work? Oh, this gun is clear. Your support's open. No brass. I believe this is an AAC 51 tooth flash hider for suppressor host. Yeah, it is AAC because this thing says AAC. And this is a AAC. Yep, 51 tooth ratchet. Okay. AAC muzzle device, very similar to the Surefire Warden. It's not a suppressor. It's completely open, but what it does is take the blast from the muzzle and direct it all forward instead of having it come out. And that just ratchets on. A little bit easier to take on and put off than the Surefire Wardens, but I like the Surefire attachment system better. I think it is a stronger design. I never had any problems with this. So this has a 1 9 inch twist barrel, which is unfortunate instead of being a 1 7, and it's also an M4 profile barrel, which what I'm guessing is at the time Bushmaster had a bunch of these barrels already in stock and just modified these to fit the ACR, or had them in a preset setup and just finished them out to fit on these guns, and they were already set up for the M203 mount, which you can't use with this gun, so whatever. We'll go into some of the internal stuff in a second. I can take the handguard off, but this is your piston. I believe it has 2 settings. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't want to fuck with it and mess it up. But when it's hot, you can put the tip of a bullet in this hole here and turn it. Or if it's carboned up, I guess you can do the same thing. Moving back, you have a monolithic upper receiver, which is aluminum. This whole portion up here is aluminum in one piece, similar to like an LMT, or I guess it'd actually be closer to like one of the Colt 6940s. I have one of those somewhere. Or I believe some of the, oh hell, who makes those? LWRC guns, or I guess like the MCX is very similar to this too. You take the hand grip, probably closest to the MCX, where this one piece through here, and you can take this off. Not in function, but just in the overall style. I have a BCM vertical grip, angled vertical grip on the front here. Moving back, it's a cool gun. I'm missing up here. Magpul, M-bus, front and rear sights. Left side here is your charging handle. And you can swap this from left or right. And then I believe it has this little function here to where it's locked in this position. And then once you push this to the rear, it will allow you to pull back on it. Yep, you have to pull back on that. If you're just trying, you can do it, maybe not. I don't remember what that's for off the top of my head, but it is angled slightly down. I don't know if you can get a good look at that. Come up here, charge it, lock it to the rear, and then it's non-reciprocating, but you cannot push this back forward when the bolt's locked to the rear. It is attached. The handguard has QD mounts at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions here. And then you also, moving back, you have larger one here at the back of the rail at the 3 and 9 o'clock. And then here's the other side of the channel that the charging handle rides in. You can swap it over to this side. I've got an EOTech 512 on this gun. This is a newer one. It should probably have like a traditional or an older model 512 on it to be era correct, but whatever. I only have, I think, 2 older ones which are already on old guns. Moving back to the magazine well, you have some texturing here. I believe this is right around the era where this was made, where people stopped gripping along the magazine well, and the C clamp was introduced, but I'm sure that they wanted to give you some texturing back here if you wanted to grab on the magazine well. This is also, the texturing is the Magpul logo, just all in different orientations to give that the textured feel. Moving back, you have a brass deflector. You have a magazine release in the traditional same location as an AR-15. And then you also have your bolt lock and bolt stop right here inside the trigger guard area. So you can pull back on the charging handle, press up, lock the bolt to the rear, and then press down and release the bolt. I like that design a lot. It's super ergonomic, super intuitive. I know there's some other guns that have that now. Another gun from that same era that had something similar was the Robinson Armament XCR, which I also have one of. And it's in the same location. Moving back, trigger is just like a standard mil-spec style trigger. I believe at one point, guys that may have made a trigger for the ACR, but I can't recall off the top of my head. And I'm sure that there's some other companies, maybe like Fox 42, might make some triggers for it, or some other parts. Moving back to the pistol grip, you have, this is all one piece. This whole lower is polymer. And then it's in the same style as like the Myad or the Mo pistol grip. It's non-removable. It's made in the same piece. On the bottom you have your removable container for CR123 batteries. And it does not lock in there very well. I'm worried about losing that. I'm sure it's the same. Do I have one? I'm sure it's the same design as the newer stuff. This is out of a K2. Yeah, it is. But it's, That one, yeah, super loose. It comes right out still, which is unfortunate. So, you can't, if you did lose this, you could replace it, but I don't think they make this color, that exact color anymore. So I worry about that a little bit. And that's unfortunately some of the fit and finish quality that plagued this gun. Cool gun, but they're like the 109 twist, the M4 profile barrel. Moving back, you have a folding and collapsing buttstock. You also have a comb adjustment, which I will have one of these. Pull back. No, come on. Oh, maybe you have to do it like this. Anyway, it folds to the right with a catch right here, and then it locks under its own tension on the little spring, so you can just pull it. It's not super tight, but I don't think it'll come unfolded unless you, like, under firing conditions. Also, a cool feature of these is right here in the back. This is also a compartment for 123 batteries. And then you can see in the back there. Right here you have the buttons for the length adjustment. And then, yeah, you gotta have the stock extended out to do this. You pull back on this top piece here, these little serrations, you can lift up and then press back forward, and that will give you a higher cone. So if you're running a taller optic, you can get your cheek set kind of in a better position for that. On the UATech, it doesn't really matter. And then it's a little, I don't know if you can see that. It's a little loose. It's not going to collapse or on you or anything, but it's not super tight tolerances. Another thing that this stock does is there's a big gap right back here where I like to put my cheek. Unfortunately, I don't shoot my face far forward. I like my cheek at the back, and I shoot generally either on the last or 1 or 2 clicks in settings, depending if I'm wearing chest rigger armor or just the optic. I really, whatever. Rubber butt pad. You have a QD cup on the back. This one's on the left side here. It's not ambidextrous, but you can unscrew it and flip it around. And then you also have on the bottom here a sling loop in the stock, and then also here on the back of the receiver you have a metal sling loop. You can like put an HK hook or something like that on. Let's see. As far as taking the rail off, you have a pin, which is captive. You have to just pull that pin out. Your handguard will come off. And this is just one piece of aluminum. Then you have your rationing barrel system. So for this, I believe you need your bolt lock to the rear. You'll pull down on this lever here and then twist it to the left. Pull this part forward and your barrel can come out. So initially they were going to have different calibers, different barrel lengths. I don't think any of those got released because this program died, unfortunately. But you can see the piston here and that locking system. So here's the gun. You can kind of see where the MCX-ish upper portion here. This gun predates the MCX by quite a bit. to reinstall the barrel. You just have to index it back in, which is hard to do on the camera. I'll get this set and show you. Re-index the barrel in, push this back at this left side offset angle, and then you're supposed to just be able to ratchet it down. There's a little button right here that keeps it in place, but I've always had problems with this particular one not wanting to it seems like this needs more of a bevel in this area right here, but if you just push it back, you can relock the barrel. I think that got locked. Yeah. And then fold this back down. And then we're going to install your handguard. And it locks on the front there. And that goes back in. This gun came with P-mag. I believe the guy who had it dyed this mag or paint. I think he dyed it. It doesn't look like paint. It doesn't match exactly. But it's a Gen 2 P-mag and it works. So thanks guys. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the comment section. Thanks for watching.